Welcome back to another video, my sexy viewers. On today's episode, we are going to be sorting out some electrical issues, which is these wirings here, and we're going to be adding some future fail-safe features. I could not speak English then. Anyway, so I have been on holidays for the past week, hence the lack of content on here. But we're back. The battery keeps draining on the VX, so we need to add a kill switch somewhere. I want to add an Anderson plug so that if the battery is to die again, I have my own little jumper lead sort of thing, where I can just plug into the car and not have to worry about having to open the bonnet latch, climb under the car and jump start it from the starter. You get the gist. I don't want to do that. It's a pain in the ass. I figured out the Haltech Elite 2500 is actually drawing the power, and that's what's causing the battery to go dead after about a day and a half. Battery's also probably a little bit stuffed, but we're going to get in this video. I'm going to go to J-Car now, get all the parts I need, and we're going to come back, strip some wiring, and get into it. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. I've got two Anderson plugs, some little crimps and whatnot, and then that is the kill switch that I'm planning to use. That's the removable key, so I can take it with me. Now the idea is I was going to try and use a relay setup, but I can't find any relays that are big enough to handle the amps. But I think I'm just going to put the kill switch on the main fuse box power cable, where everything gets its power from inside the car. So obviously there's things I don't know. I'm going to try that and see, because I don't know if 200 amps is going to be enough. Hopefully I don't blow it. If not, I can always change it out. Do not, in God's name, tell me how that was fucking... Holy fuck. $130. The grand return. So, step one is going to be reach down there, cut those wires to length. Did I grab the same gauge wire? I'm pretty sure I did. Remove those two, make new ones, recrimp them, run another negative off of maybe the battery, or I'll come straight off where that's earthed down there to the Anderson plug that I'm going to put most likely on my bumper, I reckon. Right, underneath here somewhere, or in here. This could be a good spot for the kill switch as well, because that's nice and hidden. Get the key under there. I like that idea. Alright, let's do the good old bumper deleters trick. I'm actually going to show you just how easy it is instead of doing a transition. Dead ass. Easiest thing to do on this car is pull the bumper off, because I never screw them in, because I'm always working on it. Oh yeah, that's where my reservoir is, by the way. And my intercooler, which is all changing soon, because I have a cutesy new setup that's happening. Anyway, let's figure out where we're going to mount everything and start chopping some wiring, eh? Okay, here's my thoughts, right? Because obviously it's not going to fit in this thing. It's too big. So what my plan is, which I think this is the best idea, is I'm not really a fan of having this whole thing show, nor am I really a fan of having a big red key dangling down. So I'm going to try and make this as discreet as I possibly can. I'm going to trim this key. They're like $5 for a new one. Trim this key, and it does in fact fit in here. So I might be able to do some little sneaky madoodles to this. Okay, granted the license plate, right, which I am fixing a bit more secure and getting rid of the rust marks that are left, but that sits like that. Cool. Looking at it from this POV, it covers most of this slot. So what I'm thinking is if I space this up just enough, I can have the key almost completely invisible, and then I'm just going to paint it black and then trim back, because obviously the key has to stay in it. So I'm just going to turn it back to make it match, like this side match this side. And then for the Anderson plug, I think, don't quote me on this because I haven't thought that far ahead, but I might end up putting it on this side if it fits. I've got one that's rated to, I couldn't even tell you, 600 volts, 120 amps. So that's going to be more than enough to just like crank it because it's, yeah, anyway. Ooh. Just too short. Go that way. That looks funny as. Although, I could recess it in there. I very much like that. I'm going to trace out this shape, this profile, onto the inside. I'd love to do it in the same spot, but I can't. Do it on the inside of this, and then it will sit up nice and flush. Won't be able to see any of it. Oh, that hurts. That was very difficult to do one-handed, but anyway. Okay, so the holes are drilled. If we stick this in here, just like that, that's roughly where we want it. We don't want it like all the way through. We want it set back a little bit. I measured it. It's about 15 mil. Luckily enough, I've got a 15 mil spacer that I've made up right here. Okay, we're going to continue the rest of this tomorrow because I'd like to go home. That is mounted up in there quite nice. It's not 100% centered, but at the end of the day, you don't see it. You grab the key. Let's just mock up the license plate. It's not 100% invisible, but it's better than nothing. Like if I wanted to, I could drop the license plate down a little bit, but I'm pretty happy with that fitment there. And then grab your key, which I already shortened down and made nowhere near the same angle, but anyway, I can work on that later. Chuck it in, on, and then from the top, you can just see it once it's black. That's never going to be seen. You're not going to know it's there. I can park the car up at home or here, wherever I leave the car. Come over, take this with me, and then shouldn't have power. Now, whether or not I'm going to run the main cable off of that, so straight from here over to the switch and then back to that, the block, I'm not sure. Mainly because I don't know if it's going to handle the cranking amps that it's going to pull or the alternator charge. So I may have to redesign my block here and then let's have a look see here. What am I working with? May just have to be the main fuse box wires. So I may just have to make like a little bit of a separate, I don't know. I'll work that out. I might just split that block in half and then have, yeah. So what I'll do, sorry, I'm trying to think about this as I go. I'm going to split this block in half. So I'll take everything out, I'll cut it, and then redo my connections. I'll have main power go onto the block, and then I'll have a jump wire between the two blocks. So starter and alternator will run straight to the battery and stay permanently on the battery. Everything else that gets power will run onto the second block. I like that idea. I like that. Okay, day 2, let's get the crash bar off. I realised after I finished the last recording that I actually have to notch it out, which is not very good because the kill switch sort of touches right here and there's no room for anything. So I take this off, cut, notch, good to go. Blake has spawned into the video. Oh, okay. We have got these cables run. The cables run off the battery. And that runs down to one of these two, whatever ones. They're going to go to the switch, and then it runs back up through. I haven't actually connected it yet. Very good. That's going to go down there somewhere onto the plate, and then I'm going to have a jumper. Or this is going to be an earth. That's going to be the jumper that'll go from the Anderson plug up to the battery, so that I can jump it in like desperate need. But I'll make all that up. I'll crimp everything, and then show you what I'm talking about. All right, now Harry's here.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening, viewers.
I made this up. I'm gonna give this to Blake now. He's gonna record me die grinding out with the Anderson plug. Alright, we're gonna see. Oh, if only people knew what happened behind the scenes. Anyway, you wanna get in from the underside? What the fuck? Hello? You couldn't nut better if you tried. Not bad, good size, not bad. Now, how am I going to connect that? I'm not. This is how it's going to run. The other lug will come off this and hopefully not touch anything here. It's going to come off that to the battery. So that way when I connect my other side of the Anderson plug to another battery in a worst case scenario, it'll jump straight to the battery. And then this is just going to be grounded to the chassis somewhere. Probably the crash bar when I remake it. It's going to be made out of tube because I was going to notch that, but I'm just going to wait until I do my new setup, which is over there, which Blake's funding, because I'm actually broke. And then, yeah, make a whole tube front end, which is going to be pretty slick. I'm going to get it on the car, everything bolted down, and then test it to see if it works. Okay, bumper's back on. Everything's wired up. I'll show you. I don't know if you can be able to see this or not. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that. Because I know that I can't. Anyway, it's behind there, somewhere, doing that little area. I don't know if you can see it from this way. No, not really. There's not too many cools and stuff in the way. You know the wiring though. But regardless, I have the key in my pocket hand. So she has no power. I'm gonna put it in accessories and the lights on. In theory, when I plug this in, Blake should start spinning around in circles. If I can figure out which way it goes. Awesome. And it should start. Holy fuck. Anyway, that is job... Poo! Poopy! Anyway, that's job done. as you can see, the key's in my hand and I can't lock the car. But now, watch this. Ready? I stick it up in there. I'll find out where it actually is. Holy shit. And then, oh my god, my battery shouldn't drain anymore. It probably will. You watch, it's going to drain. And if it does, I can narrow it down to either starter, alternator, or the fuck you pump. And then I haven't...
Except for the people that know it's there.
Yeah, I haven't... Oh, sorry, that was another thing that I'd mentioned now that you've said that. This isn't to deter people from stealing the car.
If you fucking try and steal this car, Harry is coming.